Good morning, everybody. We have conquered our technical difficulties, and I am live here with my friend Anne-Marie from Line Junk. Thank you guys so much for being patient with us. We worked out our technical difficulties. It wasn't quite the way we expected it to go this morning, so thank you for bearing with us. And if you're catching this on the replay, be sure to post replay in the comments. If you're catching us live, be sure that you ask any questions that you have, or post where you're from and where you're tuning in from. I'm Amie Pederson, the host of this show. I'm a business mentor and confidence coach. And I am so excited to introduce not only my friend, but somebody who I truly admire, Anne-Marie. She is the owner, founder, everything, backbone behind Line Junk, which she's going to tell us a little bit more about. But it's more than just a t-shirt company. And I know that when she first got started, and even still, you still get a lot of resistance and different things that probably would have made anybody else throw in the towel and quit. So I'm going to turn it over to Anne-Marie. Give us a little intro and tell us a little bit about yourself.
All right. My name's Anne-Marie. A little bit of an intro about Line Junk, Amie, or
just about you, just how you got started, and
okay.
Obviously you're a mom, you're a line wife.
Yes, I'm a mom of two girls. How did I get started? I have a graphic design and website design background, and I was running a freelance company doing website and graphic design, and it was awesome years ago, over a decade ago, because there wasn't much competition with especially the foreign competition where people are doing websites for like $10. And once that started hitting, I was seeing a downturn in business. So I actually, 5 years ago, I'm heavily into fitness and understanding your body, and I was starting to do my personal training certificate. And I kept being asked to design t-shirts for some of the power companies, most of them local. And then literally on New Year's Day 2013, I was like, let's, just a page and put some of the shirts out there, see if we can get any feedback at all. And it was slow, to say the least. And just feeling out. I had no idea about who else did this in the industry or any competition. I just kind of winged it, and it has snowballed from there.
Right, and you basically started at your kitchen table, right?
Yep, and still to this day, it is run out of my dining room, which we don't eat at anymore. But once it started picking up a little bit and I understood different things, I was actually just sending out orders to a print shop in Virginia to print the shirts, and then just package them and send them back out. And about a year or so, maybe a year and a half into it, there were so many designs that it was hard to have them print and match up, and with all the different colors and styles of shirts, the sleeves and all that stuff. It was getting really difficult. So I winged it and bought a printer and brought it in-house and started printing in-house. But also from there, it was, as far as merchandise, it wasn't just t-shirts anymore. People started asking for different things. So I looked for vendors. I tried to keep them in the industry, like if it was a line wife doing something on the side or whatnot. And it's grown to, there's about 30,000 different line items, but that also includes like different sizes, what size or what style shirt and stuff like that. So it's grown pretty big. A lot of people think, this is done out of a warehouse, and that's one of the biggest misconceptions is that it's not done at home by literally it's just me.
Perfect. That's awesome. That is so awesome. One of the reasons why, obviously, well, you know this, but one of the reasons why I started this show is I wanted to show women out there, whether they're moms or just women, who have a dream, who have this goal, this desire to start something on their own from their kitchen table. I wanted to show them that it's truly possible with, some hard work, some innovation, and overcoming the things that are thrown against them. I only know this because we're friends, but I know that you got a lot of outside garbage kind of thrown at you. Do you want to, obviously we won't mention any names, but are you open to share a little bit about that and how you overcame it?
When I start the business is pretty much, it relies on Facebook. And when I started putting stuff on Facebook, and I was literally doing, when I first started, cold hits. I was looking for people's profiles, putting in search words like linemen, seeing if they had a hard hat on, kind of thing, and literally just, hey, I'm Amie, and I started this page. I got a lot of slack, like, get out of here, F off, blah, 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 blah. As well as when I came to realize that there was competition in the industry, and they did not want me here. It was miserable. It really was. There was a lot of tears. There was a lot of anger. I would go and get a tattoo or a piercing just to relieve it a little bit. I was told I wouldn't last 6 months. My children were brought into it. The whole 9 yards. They just, they didn't want us here. But through it all, I had to keep fighting for what was right. I knew that to build the company, it would be on integrity, and to keep in there and keep holding strong. I've seen a lot of the other companies that had, or I've become become aware of companies that had tried to come in and folded because the pressure was too much. What I do now is with Line Junk became the biggest in the industry and went worldwide, and just continues to grow every day. And when companies come in, there's been a lot of, I would say probably about a dozen new companies come in, and they're designing t-shirts and stuff like that, and they come in and they ask, and I try to support them as much as I can, and they are my competition, but we're all in it for the same cause, of supporting and being proud of the industry that we're in, or that our husbands are in, or family members are in, and so I do try to support them, because there's enough for all of us in here, and having anger or putting somebody down, or just being crazy. What I was a victim of was just pure crazy, and I don't want to see any other company go through that. So as much as I can, I try to hold their hand and support them.
So I feel like one of the things that I've found is a lot of people come from what I call employee mentality, where they, as employees, and this is like a society thing, right? It's not just one company or another. It's a society thing. They come out of, that 9 to 5 type of being employed, being an employee, and they've always been told you're replaceable. You can't mess up. You got to do your best, blah, 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 because you can be replaced, right? So I feel like some of these people who gave you opposition at first, they were coming from kind of that mindset, not to make excuses for them being like total jerks, but I feel like society in itself has that mindset. And I'm glad to see women now who are shifting that, like women like you who are encouraging others, who are helping others, you know, giving them a hand up instead of like pushing them down and trying to shut them out. I mean, obviously you've built an empire with Line Junk, a legacy for your family, you know. So heck, I got something in the mail from you on Monday, and I bought something like 2 days ago. So I mean, so with all that being said, the reason that you're turning your company into a legacy is because you're willing to branch out. You're willing to do what a lot of companies aren't willing to do by offering mentorship and encouragement and tips in the trade, you know, like, this is what I learned when I first got started, avoid these tips. So in a way, you've been a mentor to, I don't know, handfuls of other companies who are trying to get their start. And I've seen firsthand that you support, you know, other women in business, other line wives, you know. So I feel like the message here is, even when somebody's pushing against you, you don't have to push back. You can just kind of let them fall forward, you know, on their face, if you will, because I feel like the company that was giving you slack, that's ultimately where they landed. And you proved them wrong. Like, you basically took it as like a personal challenge. Like, oh, you said I couldn't do it? Let me show you. And along the way, you've brought up so many people with you, with your encouragement and everything else. So one thing that I wanted to mention, and I didn't talk to you about this beforehand, is what you've been able to do with a Line Junk is more than sell t-shirts. It's more than selling merchandise, right? Like, yes, we all love the t-shirts and we all love the merchandise. We love the quality. We love what it's about. But one thing I kind of wanted to highlight you on is what you do to give back. And it's so inspirational. So bear with me, because it really, totally touches my heart. So Anne Marie has taken it like on as like her, almost like a personal mission to take care of all of the Line families out there. You know, if somebody is injured or somebody has fallen and lost their lives, she's the first one raising money. She uses her, you know, she uses her platform as, you know, a leader in the industry to give back massively. So when I posted earlier, you know, promoting this episode of the Moms Making Money show, and I said that she has a huge heart, you guys, like, seriously, I meant it. A lot of people have this negative connotation about success and how it means you're kind of like, you know, the Scrooge McDuck of the world. But Anne Marie is the perfect example that when you have a platform that you can work with, and it's a successful platform and a successful business, that you can give back so massively. She's like our news reporter. She keeps us up to date on everything that's going on in the industry. She's the first, like I said, the first one raising money for a special cause or a family in need. So I really wanted to highlight that, because I know it takes a lot of energy, and it, you know, some of the stuff can be rather emotional at times, and it can be heavy. But you take it on for all of us anyways, and you shed the light and you give back in such a meaningful way. So I wanted to personally thank you for that, but I also wanted to give you the recognition that I really truly feel that you deserve. You know, not only just being like a total badass woman in our industry, making badass products, you know, leaving a legacy for your daughters, and kind of guiding the way for so many others, but to truly, genuinely care about what you're doing, care about the people that you're serving, and giving back on such a massive level. I don't think that the people who are on the receiving end of that could ever truly express their gratitude ever. So I just wanted to put it out there to the world that I speak for all of us, when, you know, all of the Line families and everybody who's ever known you, that thank you.
You're going to make me cry.
No, don't do it.
Yeah, I'll touch base on that real quick. once I really started understanding as much as I could the industry, it started snowballing. Right now, I'd say there's about 260,000 followers, and I was very adamant about not paying for my likes because I actually wanted real people that are in the trade.
Right.
But I started seeing the accidents, and I wasn't really understanding like what was happening and why. And to this day, we still don't have the answer why they happen so often. But all in all, I kept feeling my page out. And then there was, these guys are going on storm and they don't have food, and what can I do to reach out? And the Facebook has such a huge reach that utilizing that tool was how it was done. And with storms, there were days where it was 18 hours and I was tired, but the men were tired, so I couldn't complain. It was very draining, and that's also touches on how it affects my family. Like the kids know, okay, she's in super work mode right now. Along with when there's accidents, everything I stop running and I try to focus right on, getting what is needed. I had a fire in me, and getting my husband especially to understand that this is a business that's run out of the house, and there are times where it's I want it, my head is going and I want to burn the midnight oil, and I've shifted lately that I try to stop the printer and I try not to work the crazy hours. Having somebody to understand that's how businesses grow it's difficult, and it does take its toll. And especially in the beginning, I had so many questions about line work, and it was in my husband's face all the time. He was going to work, he was doing the line stuff, and then he'd come home to his wife and blah, 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 blah. So I do try to keep it separate. As I said before, he knows that I'm running Line Junk. He, supports it in his own way, but I don't turn to him for anything for this. My dad actually helps me with doing all the labeling and stuff like that. And I have another lineman on the Line Junk page who shares things and tries to answer some of the questions. And he is retiring this month. Yay!
Congratulations.
And I give him all the credit in the world because we were bashed so hard. I spent a month in Facebook jail. We really did take, and I kept saying you can turn away from it. I understand, I get it. And Dan stuck right by me, right by my side, and we've actually never met. And I give him all the credit in the world, and he is truly part of Line Junk.
That's awesome. So speaking of Line Junk, I wanted to let all of you guys know that Anne-Marie has opened up a special coupon. It's going to be AP, like Amy Pederson, 15, so AP 15, and she is going to allow you guys to get a 15% off of your next order. How long is that valid for?
Let's say for the next week.
Okay, so for the next week, you guys have the opportunity to get all your goodies for 15% off. I highly recommend doing that because it's easy to stock up and then you'll have a really great opportunity to save. So I wanted to obviously make sure that you guys all visit the linejunk.com site, like and follow her on Facebook, Line Junk. You can click the link above here and I've got them linked to this as well. But I knew that when I was going to be starting this show that Anne-Marie was, I think, the first person who I reached out to. And I knew I had to feature her because kind of this little, few minutes of, I think we've been on for about 20 minutes now, doesn't even scratch the surface of everything that she does. Obviously we were brought together because both of us have husbands who are linemen. I also came from power line construction. In my past life, I call it now. So that in itself brings us together almost in a family type of way. And we just, I don't know, I think we just pretty much instantly hit it off. And I've followed her journey and I've seen her grow. I've seen the company grow over the last, when exactly did Line Junk start?
It is 5 years old.
Okay, so 5 years ago.
First of this year was the fifth, the anniversary, the birthday.
Yes. And so the other thing I want you guys to know is when you do purchase from Line Junk, quite often some of that money goes back to families in need. And Anne-Marie takes it upon herself to do that. Like she said, when a storm hits, a hurricane or something, and guys are being dispersed to go restore power, she stops her business to help them. Not a lot of companies will stop production unless they're directly impacted by some sort of natural disaster. Anne-Marie, she stops her business. You heard her say she stops printing and she helps these guys get the things that she needs, like sending tents, sending whatever it is that they need to help restore power. Like during the hurricane, she was collecting and sending tents and supplies and the things that they needed. So I know that when I make a purchase, from Line Junk, even aside from, supporting one of my favorite people, I also know that I'm supporting such a heartfelt cause. And so much of that goes out and goes back. So for me, that's huge. And like I said, there's no way I could give Anne-Marie all the recognition that she deserves on this episode. So be sure that you like her page, the Line Junk page, follow along. If you ever have any questions about what these linemen actually do, keep in mind, it's one of the top 10 most dangerous jobs. And she keeps it real for us, you guys. She keeps us in the loop on, when there's a natural disaster, when there's tragedies, and she really, really goes above and beyond for not only her customers, but for the industry as a whole. So I'm pretty confident that you're not going to see any other t-shirt company who gives back on such a massive, heartfelt scale as Anne-Marie at Line Junk does. So be sure you guys take advantage of that coupon till the end of next week and get your stuff purchased. And she's got some really, really cool custom stuff as well, you guys. And we keep bugging her to get a fitness, if I could talk, a fitness line up and running, since she does have a passion for that. And and that will probably be amazing as well. So. All right, everybody, I'm going to end the broadcast again. Click replay if you caught us replay, and make sure you take advantage of that coupon. I will put it in the comments right now. It's AP15 for 15% off coupon code. And thank you, Anne-Marie, for offering that to everybody. I'm going to end the live broadcast, and we will catch you guys later.
Bye. Thank you, Amy.
You bet.